Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island USA Season 7, episode, I think it's 16. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Down below in my description box, you will also find a link for my podcast. If you guys didn't know, I do have a podcast with the Unwell Network. Over there, I have been telling people to send in voice notes. I don't know if I'll be able to get tonight's voice notes in that episode because I do film on Fridays, but I've been loving hearing your guys' opinions on things. If you do send a voice note, send it to the Reality Recap Pod Instagram, not my personal Instagram, and please keep them to a minute because one of y'all sent 15. Love you down, but that's a lot. So thank you guys for the support. If you do go over there, I truly appreciate it. Let's get into this episode. So of course, the bombshells are getting well acquainted with the Islanders, who are more than excited to get to know them.
Parents are Dominican and I live in New Jersey.
What's your major?
Global business.
Global business. So what's your type?
Chemistry and the spark.
Driven, family-oriented, all that, funny.
I'm all about like marriage and family. So yeah.
Oh my God, his eye contact is insane.
Who caught your eye in here?
Everybody.
So TJ is into Iris and Sierra. I do feel like those are the two women who probably would be the most keen to explore things anyways. The other girls, unfortunately, seem to be quite locked off. We heard Shelly be like, he is so damn fine. And I didn't even see him look in her direction. Well, he also is not checking for Alondria, and also this is based on the edit, okay? Can we talk about that too very quickly? Some people are like, you don't know what's going on. How can you speak on so-and-so? Leave so-and-so alone. It's a TV show. I'm gonna talk about what we see. And if we don't see, I'm just led to assume that it didn't happen. So please don't get your panties in a bunch. We talk about what we see. And I didn't see him talk to Shelly, Amaya, Alondria, Hannah. Yeah, that was it. He talked to Huda, almost by force, and Iris and Sierra. So that's probably who he's going to focus his attention on. And then we have Andreina. Oh, guys, I can't get over this woman's beauty. Like, oh my God, she's so stunning. She's into Nick and Jeremiah. Jeremiah is just, well, let's start with Nick. Nick says that he's very open and that she makes him nervous. So I'm also nervous for Nick when it comes to Andreina. And then we have Jeremiah, who says that she is his type to a T. And we learned that his type is hips, lips, and hair. You also have to be foreign and more specifically Latina. But lips, hips, and hair. That's all right. They end up talking about family because they're both very family oriented. And then she says that she's Dominican. And so he's flexing his 7 words that he got. But yeah, basically we're going to see Jeremiah pining after Andreina. It's good to see him go for somebody else. But at the end of this episode, I was like, oh, this might be a 2.0. Also, can I say, because she was like, oh, he is so damn fine. I almost forgot how fine he was because he was attached to Huda. The man really is good looking. And so is Andreina. These two together? Unfair. Sickening. Like, sickeningly beautiful. Oh, God has favorites. I know he does. TJ takes Sierra for a conversation. Honestly, every conversation they had was good. They had about 15 in this episode, so I'm not going to go through all of those. But they have a really good connection. They're holding hands as they're walking by the guys. And I'm like, oh, she's very comfortable showing Nick that, hey, my options are open. And I'm glad because even Meg was like, open up, girl. Speak to some more people because Nick will. And boy, does he. Then we see Taylor and Alondria talking about life on the outside. He says that if he's not at the barn, he's at the rodeo. And she's like, oh, do you go to the club? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you do more? And so it sounded a little bit like she was saying, I'm open to the country girl life, but like city girl, I'm still trying to do city girl. We know from Taylor's bio, he does like a city girl. He said he loves a big booty. He's with a good person right now. Alondria is like, I'm more so into the day party scene now. Girl, same. I want to be out of the house at 3 and back at the house by 9. I'm not trying to be leaving the house at 11. No, I can't really do that anymore. So it was funny seeing some comments yesterday. Guys, I kid you not. As soon as I see a comment that's like, leave so-and-so alone, or you just don't understand, you're blocked. I'm so sorry. It's like an immediate block. But somebody was like, you're criticizing Taylor and Alondra because you don't understand Southern values. Let me tell you something right quick. Was I born in the South? No, I wasn't. However, I was born in Zimbabwe, Africa, if you didn't know where that was, into a Seventh-day Adventist household. Okay? I would get in trouble for wearing a jean skirt to Friday night service. Mind you, Friday night service isn't even the regular service, but because it was a jean skirt and not any other kind of skirt, I would get in trouble. So I'm very familiar with like conservative values, not conservative like politically, but like very much similar, very much so. So yeah, obviously they don't have to be all up on each other, dry humping and whatever, but it is really, really hard for me to see that tension between Alondra and Taylor. I think that's what it is too. Like, I want to see that tension. I want to see that desire, and I just don't see it. And of course, it is an edited television show. Please don't even come with that. I'm basing it off of what we see, and I ain't seeing what I want to see. I want more from my girl Alondra. Oh my gosh, also, did you guys see all the brand deals that were reaching out to Jalen? So Jalen did his first video on TikTok. He's almost at 1 million already. And all the brand, like you have airlines, you have hotels, you have resorts, you have restaurants, they're all like, we're ready for you to come. And I'm so happy for him. What a win. First time out the country, it only lasted about 6 days, but you come back home and there's all these opportunities to travel the world. I love that for you, Jalen. Now that Huda's on the prowl, she takes Pepe to the speakeasy because she feels like he had his eye on her, but he never spoke to her.
When you first walked in, you looked at me a shit ton. And you never pulled me, so I was like, all right, well, was I ever your type or no?
You know, personality for me is huge, calm, relaxed.
You are a calm guy, though.
Yeah.
So open to like getting to know people? Or
Of
no?
course.
I made the mistake when coming in here. It's like, I didn't get to know everybody,
Thank
you
you.
know?
Thank you.
I wrote in my notes, I think Pepe would only be open to a fling. And as the episode went on, it seems like he's not even open to even that. So yeah, I wasn't feeling it for Pepe and Huda at all. She's like, am I your type? And he's like, it's not really about type. It's more about personality. When somebody says that, you have to know that they're not interested. Even if maybe they're not your type, you still reassure them, or you just tell a little white lie. And you're like, absolutely. If I could build a girl, it would be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to feed into it. So for him to be like, yeah, it's about personality. And, I typically wouldn't have gone for a big personality like Hannah. But, she brings out the child in me. And I'm thinking, well, he's definitely not into Huda, because if you think Hannah has a big personality. Okay. Yeah, Huda, baby girl, good on you for trying to put yourself out there. I just think you're barking up the wrong tree. Then we have Iris, who takes Pepe to the, what's his name now? TJ. To Soul Ties, and they start making out and stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, this is cute. However, I don't really see TJ seeking her out in the way that he seeks out Sierra. You know what I'm saying? And even Iris picks up on it later in the episode. She's like, yeah, he hasn't even spoken to me since we walked down the stairs. And that sucks because, like, she came in, she got called a bitch within the first few minutes of her even landing. And then America put her in an impossible position. And now finally a guy comes that she's genuinely interested in, and it seems like his interest is split and he's more so leaning to somebody else. My friend messaged me yesterday and she's like, I want a redemption for Iris. I kind of want it too. I can't lie. I want something to work out for her, and maybe it'll be Casa Amor. People are saying Casa Amor might be coming next week. Y'all let me know if that's true. But yeah, I want more from a girl. I really, really do. Also, one of you guys in the comments pointed out that in Tuesday's trailer, we saw Iris crying. And now in Thursday's episode, we didn't see that scene at all. I personally think the hate train was really ramping up for Huda. And the show was like, well, obviously we can't exploit that storyline anymore. So they just were leaning more into the Huda redemption arc. And they just took that whole scene out. That's my hypothesis. Andreina asked Nick if he's ever dated a Latina, and he says no. However, he's always been intrigued. To me, this just feels like infatuation. He really likes her accent. He likes how she says his name. He threw in some Spanish words in there. I said, okay, that's cute. But yeah, I think he's just, feeling a stirring in his body. And he decides to keep his cards close to his chest because she's asking him questions and he's being a little bit evasive. And she's like, oh, like, what's this about? He's like, I can't tell you everything. I gotta leave something to mystery. That's fine and all. But considering that night, he and Ciara did the nasty. And I'm just gonna hope and pray that everybody's being safe. Okay? Because with all the kissing and the swapping and the licking and the sucking, guys, can't we be safe, please? With all of that going on, I'm concerned, or at this point in the episode, I was concerned about how Ciara might take his exploration. Now, at the end of the episode, we see that she's equally as open, which is good. As long as everybody knows what it is and everybody's comfortable with how things are going, that's fine with me. Somebody who's a little bit uncomfortable with how things are going is Hannah. She has a problem with Huda taking Pepe to the speakeasy because she never knew that Huda had an interest and she would have liked to have a heads up. Pepe does talk about it in the bed and she's obviously feeling quite territorial. Obviously, this also comes off the back of them having sex too. I said it was finger banging. Some of y'all on my Discord were like, girl, it was more than that. Listen, I saw the scene, but in my head, I was like, ain't no way they gonna jump. Well, I did ask for some people to get fast, and boy, I got it. In the morning, people are making breakfast. We have Jeremiah who made breakfast for Iris and Andreina. Austin made breakfast for Amaya. TJ made tea, I think, for 4 women, including Ciara. And then Nick made breakfast and tea, I think it was tea, for Ciara. And then when he sees the tea from, what's his name? He's like, snatch that. You're not drinking that. And so we're starting to see, a little bit of territorial tidbits coming out from Nick and Ciara this episode.
You got some cutty?
Bro, weeks of held up tension. I had to apologize. It was so fast. It was one of the best 25 seconds of my life. It was so good, but it was so short. When she looks at me, it's like she actually wants to eat me.
Sex is a big deal. Definitely emotions are involved.
I'm not saying I'm closed off,
But you're happy.
I'm really happy. Yeah.
It was so funny to me how Nick was like, it was the best 25 seconds of my life. I said 25. That pent up energy was real. My God. That was a quick release. So he says that he's aware that he has now opened a new door of emotions now that sex is involved. I hope that he and Ciara actually have a conversation about that, because I feel like a lot of the time why some people might start to be erratic after sex is involved is because they haven't managed their emotions, their expectations. They haven't had a conversation about where they see things going. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you might get your feelings hurt. When I lost my virginity, no, I'm a virgin, but hypothetically, if I lost my virginity, it would have hypothetically gone in a way where I asked the person where we're at. Remember yesterday I said, asking somebody, what are we? Is like begging. Yeah, I got my feelings hurt. And so I would have loved for us to have that conversation beforehand. So I hope these two are having a conversation about where the relationship is going now that sex is on the table. He did say that he's not gonna say he's completely closed off, but post-nut clarity has showed him that he is very happy to be where he's at, which is good. Then while TJ and Huda are playing ping pong, getting to know each other a little bit more, they get a text that they are going to do a challenge. I skipped through it because it was a lot. This isn't the most disgusting challenge we've had, but it's still nasty. So I'm probably gonna miss some stuff. But here's what I caught. Taylor and Alondra believe that Jeremiah is spreading the most muck behind people's back. Amaya and Austin think that Ace is the most scared of commitment. Yeah. Shelly and Ace think that Huda has been planting seeds of drama and watching them grow. Clearly Ace couldn't vote for himself, because that was definitely an Ace answer. Then we have Jeremiah, who kissed Andreina, and then he said when he thought the kiss was over, she pulled him back in. So he's like, oh, okay, green light. We love to see it. Then we have Pepe and Hannah who think that Huda is full of bull. And this is where we see Huda in the confessional just saying that it sucked to be the answer for a lot of the questions. She knows that her behavior was not great, but to hear how people actually thought about it is also not great. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how she navigates the villa after this, because I still feel like there's a lot of enabling when it comes to Huda, but whatever. It seems like she's ready to turn over a new leaf, and I think that she deserves the grace to do so. Then we have Nick and Sierra who think that Jeremiah needs to leave the herd. Ouch. Huda's partner was Pepe. They vote for Jeremiah as the one making the biggest mistake in the villa. And when she gave Pepe a kiss, it was very passionate. She also kissed TJ, but the kiss with Pepe was very passionate. And you could see Hannah was not impressed by that at all. Then Nick, we know Austin is freaked out. Nick is equally as freaked out. Okay, the man was licking the udders and doing just doing a lot. He was giving the techniques. I'm not even gonna inquire further about where he got this technique from. When he and then when he was partnered with Andreina, he was like grabbing her booty and stuff. So I'm just like, y'all just had sex and you're showing out a lot. And then there was like this like mini orgy going on between him, Sierra, was it Iris and who was it? Was it TJ? Yeah, it was a lot. He also was licking up her body, and it was just, Nick, come on. After the challenge, we see Hannah talking to Pepe, and she wants to know what that kiss was all about. Why does Pepe say, I could have misunderstood? But Pepe said, I feel sad for her. And what did he say? And he's pissed off by the situation. Maybe I misunderstood. If I did, let me know. But I was like, damn, you feel sad for the girl? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be pining over a guy who pities me. Yikes. Then we see Huda talking about going and grafting for people. And basically, she said that she forgot that the end of the challenge required you to kiss the person. I'm calling bull. Just like Hannah did. I'm calling bull on that. And then she's like, I didn't really realize that feelings would be hurt the way that they are because I'm new to this. I never got to explore connections. Girl, do you forget how you acted whenever somebody even breathed in Jeremiah's direction? And you didn't know that feelings would be hurt. It really pains me that I don't like Huda as much as I did at the beginning because she was one of my top girls. It was her and Shelly for me. 2 favorite girls. The introspection and self-awareness that lacks in Huda honestly kind of scares me. It really does. Like, she's really unable to see other people's perspectives, to put herself in other people's shoes. Yeah, maybe that'll be a lesson that she learns on this show. I don't know. So then in the evening, Nick says that he was blessed to hold on to the federal treasure, and he's referring to Andreina's booty. I'm sorry, this guy is doing a lot post-sex. Like, not to say that after you have sex with somebody, like, now y'all have to go together, but like, he's aware that it opens a new can of worms, and he's still going this far with, anyways, whatever. It's not my mess, not my problem. Then we see Iris saying that she's not quite sure if TJ is as keen on her as she is him, because when she came down the stairs, he didn't even speak to her. I don't know. Sometimes people do say that they want their person to talk to them, but maybe production keeps them from having a conversation, or maybe he was talking to somebody else at the time, or maybe he didn't notice that she was walking down, but also if he didn't notice, that's probably a problem too. There could be a lot of factors, but the point is the girl is hurt, and I understand her feelings. Then we have Austin, who says that at this point, it's as if Amaya is married to him with kids, and they've been together for like 6 years or something, and it's just a lot for him. And so Ace is like, and I'm like, can we see more of this? Like, yeah, she calls him baby, but to me, I just don't see the intensity that they're talking about. I know Amaya is intense, but I don't see the intensity that these guys are talking about. But Amaya herself is aware, and she asked Austin, yo, are we good?
Do you feel uncomfortable when I call you babe?
I know you're a very affectionate person.
Okay. And I know you're the type of person to like speak up.
Yeah.
So is there anything I do that makes you feel uncomfortable?
No. Love your energy, and I love the energy that you bring out of me.
Austin had a golden opportunity to say, hey, it's a lot for me. It's too much too fast. Let's dial it back a little bit. Let's build on our friendship, and then we'll go from there. You know, he loves a friendship connection. But she gave it out. She gave him an out, and he didn't necessarily take it. He was like, oh no, I just gotta get used to it. But if you don't like how full on she is, you can just say that. But also, I don't want to hear it from you, Austin, because you were complaining about not having a girl who's all about you. Now you got a girl who's all about you, and you're freaking out. And the funny thing is, Amaya just finished telling Iris, oh, maybe TJ will come to you more if you pull it back. You know, like, guys really like that. That probably explains why Austin was chasing after Shelly for as long as he was. He claims he didn't like that arrangement, but that anxious and avoidant attachment interaction was probably getting him going. You know what I'm saying? Not that he's actively knowing this, but some people are just wired that way. And I think that that's Austin. Now that he has somebody who's all in, he's like, I kind of like the chase though. As we know, Hannah was voted as the person who has a lot to say, but maybe doesn't take the opportunities to say it. And so when she talks to Huda, she does share part of, you know, where her mentality is right now.
Bitch, I feel like an asshole. Didn't cross my mind to like ask you. So I pulled him, but not trying to disrespect anything you guys have.
Well, okay, you didn't need my permission, but I've also been like there for you through your situations.
I'm very new to this pool chat thing, as you can tell.
Why mine?
I know.
So the other Islanders earlier in the episode did point out that they found it problematic for Huda to go for the guy who's attached to the girl who has been there the most for her emotionally, right? And so we see Hannah trying to be understanding, but then in the beach hut, she's like, oh, I just wish she was more genuine. Sounds to me like you have more to say, Hannah. Speak up. Speak up. Honestly, speak up for yourself because you deserve to have your opinions known, but also speak up for Huda's sake. There's too much like tiptoeing around Huda, and honestly, it's a disservice to her and the villa at the end of the day. If y'all feel like you can't be honest with her, you're now uncomfortable living in a space with her. And also, she deserves kindly to know where people's heads are at, you know, regarding her behavior, you know what I'm saying? Like, even her friend went on Instagram and she was like, oh yeah, she typically has a lot of enablers in her life. And I'm thinking all the more reason for people to get more comfortable with letting them know how they actually feel about her situation. I know that it can feel overwhelming when everybody's saying it all at once, but the way that Sierra talked to her, I think more people should feel more comfortable because she needs that. She needs that. Not to like put her in her place, but to know that, okay, well, you know, sometimes it's okay to not have yes man in your corner. That is good for development. Nick and Sierra talked to the bombshells. They had really good conversations. I still feel like Nick is just enamored by Andreina's Latina-ness more so than he is like really into her as a person. Whereas with Sierra, she's actually into TJ for real. They have a lot of deep conversations and stuff. He also mentioned something that I really resonated with. He said his dad is really old, and so he feels like he has to race the clock sometimes to accomplish certain things while his dad is present. I feel the same way. Like, I was a late bloomer, but even with that, like, all of my siblings, we weren't people who just like did things quickly. So it took a long time to get married, took a long time to have kids, like, you know, those milestones that other people were experiencing, we weren't experiencing at that time. And so my mom did say like, oh yeah, sometimes it does kind of make me sad that everybody else has all these grandkids and like my kids aren't there. However, I would never pressure my kids to do something prematurely. You do things when you are ready because that's like the most healthy way to do it, right? But yeah, it does play in my mind like, damn, they getting up there in age. I would love for my dad to walk me down the aisle, child. Anyways, the point is, I really resonated with TJ saying that I like him. He's a good guy. I like him. Then we see Huda and TJ. They're talking about their kiss in the kitchen, and then they take it up to Soul Ties to continue the conversation.
How are you feeling?
I feel good, like the king of the world.
You gotta kiss her though.
Thank you, you too. I mean, is it not bruised?
No, it's just like you.
It's just black?
I don't see anything.
Okay.
I can't really see.
Oh, do you wear contacts? I don't even know what you're looking at. Right?
You want me to pull you? You want to pull me? Huh?
We'll talk more tomorrow, right?
Okay.
The way that Huda was laying it on thick, I was getting a little bit concerned. I was like, girl, let's be measured. We've been here before. Let's take our time this time. You have a fresh chance, a new opportunity. Let's take our time. You could see, well, I felt as if she was making bids for some more physical affection. She was trying to get a kiss in there and the man was just not biting. I don't know what his reason is. Maybe he's a little bit scared to jump in there with Huda right now because he knows how that could go. So yeah, I just want Huda to take her time. Take your time, girl. You could still build a good connection even though it's a little bit of a slow burn. Okay. Then we have Jeremiah who's talking to Andreina. Of course, they're really into each other. Okay. Sickening couple, sickening, right? And she's like, yeah, I've never been in a relationship. And he's like, oh yeah, I've only been in one, but you never being in one is a little bit, you know, I want to ask more about that. He's a little bit concerned. And she's like, I don't even know why. Like, I'm a catch. It's not like I'm a psycho.
Whoa, that's a red. Whoa, not judging you. I'm just curious.
It's not like I'm a psycho or, you know. I'm not necessarily like my dream man, but he's getting there. Hard finding someone that you actually like wanna. What?
I'm listening.
It was fire.
Damn. Thank you, God. Like.
Guys, I swear, if this is round 2, I'm gonna lose my mind. If this is round 2, I'm going to lose my mind. Oh my gosh. And then they start kissing and I'm just like, Jeremiah does not know how to take a connection slow. Like, it's just not in him at all. So I hope that he has really learned from his previous situation and that this isn't round 2 because I can't do this again. You guys were told to vote for your favorite Islanders. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.